What?
Oh, I just refreshed it like 4 times. It didn't want to continue setting up the live.
It says we're live. Woo!
All right.
Hey, good morning.
Beautiful.
I'm going
minutes
to
late.
get the streaming link so I can look at the comments.
Yeah. All right. Morning, everyone.
Hey, it's Becky.
It's me. I was just trying to get to the YouTube. Not showing up.
Yeah, it just went live, Becky. For whatever reason, the connection keeps timing out on me. So we are live now, though. It's showing up on YouTube. So
can you set up to gallery view?
I'm peacing out then.
All right.
Bye, Becky.
See you in the comments.
Okay.
I have another cow mug. You got your tea today?
No, I am very unprepared. I have water though.
Good. Gotta stay hydrated.
Coca-Cola glass. So let me get my water. Coca-Cola glass from the Dollar Tree.
Right.
Fresh water from my fridge.
I have my little amigo with me today because she doesn't want to stay off my table.
Yeah, I'm a little behind today. I ended up napping yesterday, like I said I wanted to, and then I slept for like 2 hours. And then that made me not be able to sleep for a while, and then I woke up late today.
Yeah, this whole virtual working really takes it out of us.
Oh, well, I hate being on a screen all day. It really hurts my eyes. So
it's tough. Gotta go back to those upward bound YouTube videos and learn how to structure your day, Christina.
I know. I mean, I'm still taking my hour lunch.
Yeah. Good.
Which is more than I take when I'm actually at the schools, which is just more like I sit there and sometimes students come and I'm like, I really got to eat.
Just eat with them.
No, I don't really eat with them. Lisa says, good morning.
I see that. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, everyone. Looks like we got 5 people watching. All right.
Yeah.
So today we're going to do a virtual tour of Syracuse University. And then we're going to try to talk a little bit about ESF as well. They don't seem to have their virtual tour set up yet, but according to their website, they are working on it. It's supposed to be out by the end of March, but who knows? It's difficult times. Things are behind. So we're going to do the best we can. But both campuses they're adjacent to one another. So I have a little bit of background with ESF because my sister spent 4 years there. And I've done multiple tours there at ESF, even some pretty specialized tours. I remember one of the neatest tours, I think, was the time we toured the paper industry. So it's a paper program at ESF. And of course, you can go there to learn how to make paper and then get a job in a paper factory, which seems like kind of a drag, and like how many jobs are there in that field, but apparently there's quite a few. And in addition to that paper program is like a general materials processing program, which I found to be absolutely fascinating.
Yeah.
So my understanding was that the conjunction of the paper program and the materials processing, they were doing some really state-of-the-art stuff, like making cardboard that was used on a space shuttle for insulation and fireproofing, and it was lightweight. Really awesome stuff. And also fascinating to me was this thing they're doing with willow. Willow's a very fast-growing tree, so to speak, and so these willow sticks, they like plant them like they would alfalfa or hay, and then they, after 2 years, it's mature enough to harvest, and they harvest it with a sort of combine-like machine. It's not actually a combine, but that's the closest thing I would have to equate it to.
Okay.
And then they put it through an extensive process, because willow is not particularly useful as it is. But once they get done processing it, they are able to extract a number of different byproducts, and eventually have, like, one of the byproducts is wood pellets that you can burn, because willow won't burn on its own.
Makes sense. That's interesting.
But I found that to be very fascinating. And they do that with a number of different materials. So ESF really is an awesome college. They're doing some great things with environmental science, forestry. Their main campus is, as I said, adjacent to Syracuse University. And when my sister was there, she was actually able to take some Syracuse classes. And I believe, had she gotten a diploma, she would have had a Syracuse University sort of notation on her diploma, which is kind of cool.
Oh, interesting.
And the other really big perk about being an ESF student is that you sort of get all the amenities of a Syracuse University student.
Right. I think you can use their libraries.
You can use their libraries, you can order books and everything through them. But from a social aspect, and like the benefit of living in the Syracuse area and being an ESF student, you get those perks of a Syracuse University student as well, like tons of concerts and things going on at the Carrier Dome. The Carrier Dome being the big sporting arena. It's where the Syracuse Orangemen play basketball. But they hold concerts there, sporting events, football is there. And if you're a student, you get a discounted rate on all of those tickets. So if you're into sports, you can go see the sports. If you're into concerts, you can go see the concerts. I actually saw Macklemore and Ryan Lewis there.
Oh, okay.
While my sister was a student,
First shot.
We actually had a friend who got us tickets. She was working there at the time. She got us tickets, and we went to see Macklemore and Ryan Lewis for, I think, $15 a ticket. So
That's pretty nice. We have more people who joined us. Zach says hello, and so does Raven. Well, Raven says good morning. So.
Good morning, Zach and Raven.
And I know we have up to 7 people watching now, so there's a few. Yeah. I was telling Zach about this when I was reading the book at the time, but there's this professor who teaches ecology at ESF, and she wrote this amazing book that has it's basically a collection of essays about ecology and indigenous planting, and basically like the relationships with humans and the environment, and how it doesn't necessarily have to be a negative experience. Like people often say that like humans negatively affect the environment, but she was talking about a lot of positive experiences, as well as like the relationship that like historically and today, like with plants, like you tap maple trees for syrup. So there was a whole chapter about maple trees and their importance.
Yeah.
So
I could see how that would be really true. Nature is set up to do a lot of really good things. You know, we learn in school about how different leaves are built to spread themselves. You know, burdock gets attached to animals and people and gets transported and propagated. But I would imagine like people have a big impact on that as well, because of their ability to propagate things. And it's amazing how many like other impacts that has, right? So I knew some students who were studying, I think they were at ESF, or maybe they were at Paul Smith's, whichever the case. They're pretty similar colleges, but they were studying wildlife. And I got talking to this guy because he was a wildlife biology major, and he had this dog, and we we got talking about this dog, but he had actually trained his dog to shed hunt. And this is a conversation that you and I have had, but right now, springtime, it's really popular for
Oh, right.
outdoorsmen to go out and scour the woods for sheds, because the deer or any antlered animal sheds their antlers every year as a natural process. And so people go out and find those sheds. Well, this dog was trained to locate sheds in the woods. So
Oh,
if you've ever shed hunted, you know that it's fun. It's wonderful being out in the woods, but it can be frustrating because, 50 times out of the 100 you might spot a something. Actually, it's a much higher percentage than that. Probably 99% of the time you see something laying on the ground in the woods, it's a stick or a pine tree or something that is whitened and looks like a deer antler, but it's not. So anyway, this guy was studying the effects of the Great Lakes on deer antler size, like girth, spread, all this stuff. And he was trained his dog, and this was like a senior project. And I found it absolutely fascinating. But he was telling me that like the human impact on those, like the deer population, was really significant. So there were two things. It was the Great Lakes, and deer being around a good fresh water supply helped to create a bigger deer antler, but it also impacting it was the amount, like Western New York or the Finger Lakes. I said Great Lakes. He was actually studying the Finger Lakes.
Okay, but either way, fresh water.
Yeah. So he said that in Western New York, there was also this impact of all of the farm crops that like humans were planting, and they're not fenced in or anything. So deer take advantage of that, and it's a huge food supply for deer. So it's really good for them. Anyway, I've digressed, but all really interesting stuff. Maybe you'll have to share that book title. I think that'd be an interesting read.
Oh, the one I was talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. She has her doctorate. I think UCC is going to pick it for their global education environmentalism theme next year. So I can link later.
Excellent.
Which I still have to post the links from yesterday for like the Oneonta tour. But we should start talking about Syracuse. I'm excited to see.
Yeah, let's go.
Never been. Heard great things.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna go right from the beginning here, show you guys how to find these virtual tours. And usually it is as simple as doing a search on the university's webpage. But I also wanted to stop here because I thought it was interesting. We're hearing a lot of distilleries who are making, whiskeys and things like that. And I thought it was pretty cool that someone connected to Syracuse University here. He's actually a folk college instructor. He owns a distillery where he usually makes gold medal whiskeys, but he is pitching in to fight COVID-19, and he's making alcohol for hand sanitizers. So pretty neat.
Yeah. They're doing that in Rochester too with Black Button Distillery.
Yep, in Rochester. So I just searched virtual tour, and here we go. So this is a really great tour. A note before we get started, sort of virtually walking this campus, I wanted to point out that there is a little bit of a difference between a college and a university. And that difference is that a university is generally a conglomeration, so a bunch of colleges made up into one. So, let's say Geneseo has departments of math, departments of science, departments of, well, Geneseo doesn't have nursing, but might be a nursing department. At a university, all of those things would be separate colleges. So that's what you're going to see here on Syracuse University's campus. They're going to be talking about all these colleges. So you'll have and the colleges have names. So, but there's a college of art and design. There's a college of public relations, or public affairs, communications. Many of those things are.
House.
What's that?
New house.
New
I know.
house?
Yeah. If you're a communication major, that's where you go.
That's right. That's right. So, I guess to get us started, this is the very front at Syracuse University. And you will find that it's a really beautiful, I'm going to turn this off. It's going to annoy me. There's a wonderful guy who I believe he's an alumni. And if you go on this virtual tour, I actually recommend doing this on your own too, because you can hear that alumni speaker talk. He gives some really cool information about the history of the college and the students that are there. But we want to just see the campus today, and I can't broadcast his audio with ours. So
yeah, unfortunately.
We're just going to mute him so he doesn't confuse me in my ear.
Ooh,
So Syracuse University. Here we have the Hall of Languages. I love the ivy, the vines that grow all over the top of the Hall of Languages. Let's see how this goes. I have a baby crying. Let's see. I want to go in here. Let me in.
If you press the 10, like 10 at the bottom, it has.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're still outside.
But the next one should be inside if you press the arrow over.
So we were just down there, and you see the direction we're facing now is heading down into the city of Syracuse.
Tyler's with us. Hello.
Hi, Tyler.
I think the second panoramic picture.
Yeah, I think
has like the view inside the building.
It's hidden. It just had this, but it was my Zoom in the way. Okay, so inside the Hall of Languages.
Not what I expected.
No? I know it looks like such a old building from the outside. You'd think that it was a little more old looking inside, right?
Right.
So, pretty cool building there.
Fascinating. Yeah, it's definitely not what I expected at all.
All right.
Jenna says good morning.
Oh, good morning, Jenna. My Zoom is really, there. Did that work? Okay. They want me to register. So you like this college so much.
Right.
So Maxwell and Eggers is home to the Maxwell School of Citizenship and Public Affairs. This college is ranked among the top in the United States consistently. So here you would find several multimedia facilities. What I found was really cool is that they actually broadcast like news or media publications in other languages here. So a lot of multicultural affairs, a lot of international affairs happens here.
Was there any pictures inside the building down there?
Nope,
No,
just the patio.
Just the patio. Okay. Gotta show off those pillars.
Yeah. Speaking of pillars, those of you that have been to Syracuse with me know that one of my favorite activities is to go to the Courier Dome and do the dome stomp. So if you back into the pillars along the Courier Dome, you can stomp and it reverberates all the way up. It's really cool. Anyway, so Krause College, this is the castle on Syracuse University. And just about every time I go on a tour here, they remind us that this is very much like Hogwarts. So if you're into Hogwarts, maybe you want to go study at the castle. To study at the castle, though, you would be definitely interested in music because the Krause College is home to the music college.
Wow, that's beautiful.
That is something else, right? There's a pipe organ. I believe that the Krause College Castle has a bell choir in it. I don't know if it's a bell choir, a bell tower. So the music students actually, they are student chime masters that control the chimes of that play here. And so I think different intervals of the day, you can hear the chimes from all over campus, and they're being run by students, which is really neat.
That is cool.
This is downstairs. You see, this is about what you would expect of a castle, right? Long corridors, beautiful woodwork, stained glass.
That's what I expected in the other building.
Yeah. There's an up close and personal look at the pipe organ. See that little keyboard down there? Controls all of this. Oh, incredible. A really beautiful performing arts facility. Baby grand piano. Good stuff. And we are back outside behind the Krause College. The statue without the winged victory statue without a head.
All right.
Really awesome stuff. Okay. Oh, I should just register so I stop getting this notification.
You'll still get it.
Yeah. So White and McNaughton Halls house the David Falk College of Sport and Human Dynamics. How do I enlarge this?
I haven't been able to figure that out. Even when I let the speaker go longer.
Oh,
Through
there
it
we go.
finally.
Yeah.
I just need to have a mouse hooked up next time.
Double click and scroll.
Okay.
So they're part of the programs in human development, family science, marriage and family therapy, food studies, nutrition science, and dietetics, public health, social work, and sport management. Students
Yeah, we
also-
talked about dietetics yesterday.
Yeah, we did. Students also take courses
Dietetics
in
of eating a
other
banana.
facilities across campus.
No pictures in there.
Deneen. Gotta stop clicking on that. Deneen Hall. So this is a very modern building.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the cool things about Syracuse. And I know some students have in the past commented that like they wished it all looked the same. Maybe that's you. That's not my personal take on it. I love like contrasting things and mixtures. You know, I don't like being all in one space or location. Y'all are probably figuring that out now. Maybe you like the variety in your life as well. But I love the mix of modern and antique, you know, at least with the architecture and the spaces I am occupying.
Honestly, I do like the mixture. One of the saddest things was like when I went and toured U of R. It was before they remodeled their library. It was absolutely gorgeous. And then they remodeled it, and part of it looks like an Apple store. I was like, oh,
It's way too modern.
too modern, too much.
So here's one of the classrooms in Dineen Hall. Looks like some very ergonomic chairs, those nice tables Christina was talking about with places to plug in your laptop.
Oh, I could sit in that classroom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
those
that looks
chairs
comfy.
look super comfy. Absolutely.
You have to have good back support.
Courtroom auditorium. That's pretty cool. So you might have a big lecture class there. Those chairs look comfy, but not quite as comfy as the last. So Dineen Hall is actually the home of Syracuse University's law programs. And if any of you remember Alyssa McKenzie, her brother is in the program now. She spent a lot of time in Dineen Hall. She was pre-law at Syracuse. She just graduated last year. So they say there's 8 interdisciplinary learning centers. So interdisciplinary means there's a focus on a bunch of different kind of topics. So it includes the Institute for National Security and Counterterrorism. The building was opened in 2014, so it's only 6 years old. It's very, very new then. It features a 300-seat courtroom, which we saw, that plays host to advocacy competitions and distinguished lecturers. One of the College of Law's most notable alumni is Vice President Joe Biden. Yay, Uncle Joe.
Current nominee. So there you go.
The current DNC nominee, yeah.
Something that I wanted to say about like interdisciplinary majors was that I talked to Zach about it at certain schools. You know, we're looking at environmental science or conservation science. Sometimes when you look at the degree requirements, it doesn't show the same like initial for all of those things. Like it doesn't say ENVI like for environmental, and it may have other abbreviations in the front, and that's how you sort of know it's interdisciplinary. So like American Studies is a great example of that, where you're taking a few classes about American Studies within that are like that focus, but then you'll also be taking history classes and English classes and political science classes. That's my
yeah, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
So as I said before, the Carrier Dome is it's one of the most recognizable on the Syracuse skyline. So I know from the numerous times I've driven through the city of Syracuse, you can sort of see that dome sticking up from down at the bottom of the hill. And that's where it was opened in 1980. So it was about 10 years old, and I was going there as a child. My cousins lived in Syracuse, and we went to, my dad and my uncles took us to some Syracuse basketball games. So holds a special place in my heart. And the columns I was talking about, not actually visible from this side, but you see them here on the other side of the dome. Those columns where my arrow is, they go all the way to the ground, and you can actually put your whole body in there, and when you stomp, it reverberates all the way up. Sounds really cool. The sports that they play there are men's and women's basketball, men's lacrosse, football, and that's it. Dome is also known as the Loud House. It is the largest on-campus dome stadium in the nation, and it holds the record for the largest attendance of an NCAA men's basketball on-campus game. So that's pretty cool. The Barnes Center at the Arch. So I believe this is the Archibald Gymnasium. It's one of 10 campus rec facilities. It includes basketball and volleyball courts, exercise equipment, swimming pool, rooms for spin yoga, and kickboxing classes. So
you said one of 10 facilities on campus.
One of 10 rec facilities. Yep.
Wow.
So
Well, I mean, this is a large school, and you have to have more than one space with you can't just have 100 machines for 10,000 people.
right. I don't know that all 10 of those are actual like stationary bike sort of gyms.
Right.
But yeah. Let's check out the library, one of Christina's favorite places, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when you enter Carnegie Library, you pass the statue of Diana the Huntress on the way to the library's grand reading room. This soaring sanctuary is a favorite place for study and research and also home to the university's mathematics department. The Renaissance structure was completed in 1907, largely due to a donation by famed philanthropist, anybody's guess? Andrew Carnegie. Christina, do you know where else there's an Andrew Carnegie Library?
My guess is Pittsburgh.
So I believe the Warsaw Public Library is an Andrew Carnegie Library.
Oh, wow.
I don't think it's named after him, but Andrew Carnegie donated money for tons of different public libraries, right? And I believe that Warsaw Library is an Andrew Carnegie Library.
Wow. The reason because of Carnegie Mellon.
Oh, very good guess. I'm sure you're right.
I don't know.
I was just looking to share some local history knowledge. Maybe I'm wrong though. Who knows? So here is our Carnegie Library at Syracuse University.
Wow.
These are lights for doing work. So this is going to be a public study area. Look at that atrium. Oh. And then all this room for study groups, working with partners, studying by yourself.
There's like 2 other libraries on campus too, I believe.
There are, yeah. The Saltine Word.
I think this is the main one, the largest one, but if you go here, there's other options, as well as they mentioned in their library page when I was reading up about Syracuse that you can also use ESF's library because they're so close.
True. Yeah, I think the 2 colleges work very closely together. Hendricks Chapel, center of campus. It's a gathering place for all faiths. So you'll often find, the Catholic community, the Episcopalians, they will all sort of take turns using this chapel, hold their own services. And just like most campuses, there's a very vibrant interfaith community. So you're going to find just about any religion that you believe in, and you will find people to engage with there. So.
Oh, and the Office of Community Engagement.
Yep.
So that's like if you volunteer into the community and you want to like apply your degree to help others, that's usually where you go. We're going to have a speaker from a different university from their community engagement office next week. So that's exciting. Raven said she thinks that Perry's library was donated from Carnegie.
Oh, you're probably right, Raven. Thanks for weighing in on that.
Yeah.
So here's inside the chapel, very beautiful.
Oh
Syracuse
my gosh.
seems to love its cathedral ceilings. There's even some balcony space.
How many alumni do you think get married there,
Probably tons.
Huh?
It's funny. So, I don't know. There's just something special. I met my wife at college, and I lived in Warsaw. My wife lived in Rochester. We got married in Geneseo, where we went to college. So it was just it sort of held a special place in our heart. It's where we met, where we lived for so long, and so it was very fitting. So I would imagine that a lot of sweethearts from college might choose to come back here and get married. And then we have a beautiful Syracuse quad from the steps of the Hendricks Chapel. Christina has said on previous tours, these quads, you know, during summertime, student breaks, those are full of people studying, laying out on towels, reading a book, laying out on blankets. You'll often find somebody throwing a ball around, football, baseball, frisbee. So a lot of recreational opportunity there. I love the green space on a college campus.
Me too.
And there it is from a lower level, looking back at Hendricks Chapel. Hines Hall. This is the School of Information Studies, built in the 1950s, redesigned in 2003. It's a high-tech modern space that showcases the latest in technology and design, including 8 research centers and a collaborative idea lab with floor-to-ceiling whiteboards, as well as an iPad bar to test apps. What college has an iPad bar? That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. Not the SUNYs.
No, probably not.
That's where you get the private school money coming in with this.
Maybe Binghamton's got it.
Maybe.
So pretty modern building, some cool architecture, statues. Clearly a information technology place with that kind of lab. iSchool student lounge. I'd really hope they would show pictures of that iPad lab.
If only.
Yeah, right. Okay, so Link Hall is the College of Engineering, computer science. So they have a Fidelity Modus 622i flight simulator. I have no idea what that is, but it sounds pretty cool. There's wind tunnels and a fluid dynamics laboratory and a $4.5 million environmental systems laboratory complex. Link Plus is a 5-story addition to Link Hall, including structural engineering, high bay lab, soils laboratories, and classrooms. So some serious engineering stuff going on here. And look, even the most advanced engineers use simple tools: scissors, razor blades, wire strippers.
You need it.
And then, of course, you have a little more expensive equipment, a flight simulator. It's pretty cool. Structural engineering we'll take a look at. So that looks like a massive press that they could test the strength of different materials. It looks like maybe something they're testing. I don't think that's part of the building. I think that is part of the program. So that's the kind of thing you'd be working on. Look at those bolts. Oh my God, that thing is massive.
Wow. Sorry, I keep looking down. I'm just getting some stuff prepped for Zoom advising at 11 a.m.
That's all right. Are you telling me to hurry up?
No, it's also an appeal to come to advising.
That's right. Come to advising at 11 o'clock. Who is advising at 11 o'clock today?
Letchworth?
Letchworth. Oh, yeah. So we'll see Raven
It's Letchworth
again.
and then Alexander, I believe.
Slocum Hall is life sciences and architecture. So Raven, I know you're watching. Here you go. The Slocum Auditorium, atrium. So they're not going to show us any cool architecture labs.
No.
So they note that The Syracuse University School of Architecture is one consistently ranked one of the best in the nation by Design Intelligence magazine. A recent design of Slocum saw the careful restoration of many of its finest architectural features, as well as upgrades to technology and energy efficiency. Its auditorium is for public lectures by important contributors in architecture, design, urbanism, and technology, or its gallery for extensive slate of collections, conferences, and other public programs. So, cool stuff. Life Sciences Complex, incredible, huge, 230,000 square feet, life sciences. This is where you find biology, chemistry, biochem, and it promotes interdisciplinary research and education.
Ooh, a climate change garden.
Yeah, the outdoor lab has more than 30 species of trees and shrubs. That's cool.
Wow.
So the research wing includes imaging and genomics centers, as well as 27 interconnecting laboratories for research.
So this has to be both the undergrad and graduate college schools within this.
I think they're
My guess.
I think they're mixed. So the colleges are content specific, and each college contains undergraduate and graduate programs.
Right. So you'd be walking around and there'd be graduate students around. You wouldn't be taking those classes with them. In fact, some of them would probably be your teacher assistant, your TA.
Yeah, I believe they would be teaching your classes.
Yeah. If it's like an intro level, then yeah.
And yeah, and Syracuse has a lot of PhD programs as well. So not just master's degree, but PhD programs.
Oh, yeah.
So it's those PhD students that may be teaching your classes.
Mm-hmm.
Chemistry lab, a lot of pictures in this one. Here's a life sciences lab. Another life sciences lab. And back to the atrium. Check out the residence hall. We'll spend just a few more minutes here, and then we'll encourage you to head out on your own virtual tour. So this is the dining hall.
In their residence hall.
Yeah. So the dining hall it's so big that it can sustain a full dining hall within the residence hall.
Not surprising.
What was that?
So I was going to say, it's not surprising. There's some universities that if they have enough students within their dining hall or within their residence hall, their dining hall will be located right on their first floor.
Right. I think that's true for many of the residence halls at Syracuse.
Mm-hmm. I just want to see one of their rooms.
Here we go.
Single? Double?
Interesting double. Look, it's got that like divider in it, I think.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So you have like serious privacy from your roommate. That's pretty wild. I think that's what that is anyway.
I think that's a wall. Yeah. Good desk.
Good desk chair. Yeah, I love that room. And then a fitness center there as well. So one of the 10. Check that out. If you like free weights, here is your place, the Ernie Davis Fitness Center. Cool. Looks like a place I'd love to live. We got to check out Newhouse School.
Mm-hmm.
I've skipped a few here. So Newhouse School is one of the best communications centers or education centers in the world, I would say. Would you agree, Christina?
Oh, it's the top. It's the top of the business.
Yeah. So it's a 3-building complex. It houses television studios, editing suites, photography and audio recording studios, and smart classrooms.
Yeah, I had a friend from high school who studied here. She was a communications major and forgot her specific focus, but she is now, I think, an editor at America's Test Kitchen.
Yeah.
So she specialized in food, specifically food communications.
Nice.
Had internships in that, and then that led to other jobs.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So that is an auditorium. Here is food.com. Not sure what this is. Just a seating area, study in between classes. Media Convergence Lab.
And you see that these are all Apple computers.
These are all Macs. So this is clearly for photo and video editing, right?
Yes, or any type of publication design. I know that I had to learn how to use InDesign, which is an Adobe software like Photoshop, but it's specifically for publications.
Wild. And lastly, a photo studio. Cool stuff at the Newhouse School of Public Communications.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to make sure to check out before we wrap up?
No, I think it's good. I know there's a lot more we didn't cover, but that's because this is a massive campus for a very large student body. We definitely encourage you to go look on your own. You can listen to the nice tour guide, and that would be great. Ooh, look at that.
So I just wanted to try to find the student center.
Yeah.
There's all your Syracuse swag. So this is basically your student union. If you guys haven't gotten the impression yet from the tours we have done, colleges have so many of the same things. They all have a student union, sometimes multiple ones. Occasionally they look a little different. One of the coolest student unions I've ever been in was Indiana University at their main campus. I forget what city it's in right now.
Yeah. Bloomington, maybe?
Bloomington, yes. Thank you. So they have a bowling alley in their student union.
Oh, wow.
I think there's actually a SUNY school that does as well. Binghamton, maybe?
Maybe.
A bowling alley in their union. Super cool. So anyway, we've been at it for 50 minutes here. We're going to give it up for you guys and let you check out the rest of Syracuse University on your own. And any, I guess, final reminder, please join us for advising. Today will be Letchworth at 11, Alexander at 2.
Tomorrow, Warsaw's at 11, but normally it's going to be on Mondays. And I know that if you can't make it, you can still contact us, not through Zoom, or we can have a separate Zoom advising. That's fine. Yep. There was a student who had a concern about a conflict because they're Zooming with their math class at the same time. So your student comes first, and we can adjust. We're totally
absolutely we can. Yeah, just contact us if you want to meet with us face to face over virtual video. We can certainly set that up for you. We don't want to cause any sort of conflict if you have to meet with any of your teachers for virtual check-ins or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just let us know. We still want to stay connected to you, and we're going to do the best we can. Just let us know how we can best support you.
Mm-hmm.
What a good time is for you, and we'll make it happen. Or
Tomorrow,
we'll try to make
Friday.
it happen.
So
tomorrow is Fun Friday, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
bye.